Hi, this is Ben Jackson of Crimson Glory, and you're listening to Talking About Rock.
All right, today we have for you an American heavy metal band that formed in 1983 in Sarasota, Florida, Crimson Glory. They rose to international fame in the mid-'80s and were considered one of the pioneers of American progressive metal, alongside bands like Queensrÿche, Dream Theater, Fate's Warning, and Watchtower. They've re-emerged with a new vocalist, Travis Willis, and the band has been touring heavily over the past year, making their new album one of the most anticipated releases of 2026. Joining us now to chat about their upcoming release, Chasing the Hydra, out on April 17th from BraveWords Records, let's welcome Ben Jackson from Crimson Glory. Ben, how's it going, man?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing real well, man. So the new album here, Chasing the Hydra, it's kind of been described as a rebirth for this band. Tell us about this and the new incarnation of Crimson Glory.
Yeah, we really wanted to bring the band back for a while now, and the original guys, Jeff and Dana, and I talked about it a few years ago and just decided the time was right. So, we had a couple places to fill, obviously. Our singer and other guitar player position were empty, so we found Travis Wills from Dallas, Texas, and Jeff knew him from Facebook, being friends there with him. We had looked at a few other singers, but Jeff knew Travis, so we moved on Travis. And we knew Mark Borgmeyer for a long, long time. He's a friend of ours here, lives in Florida where we live, and we always thought he would be the best guy to take the open guitar spot. So we brought these guys in and just got busy on this new record.
Yes, definitely sounded good. So one thing I want to ask you about, something you guys were kind of known for back in the day, are the full face metallic silver masks. Is that still part of the band's image at all, or not?
No, not right now. We're not wearing any masks. We're just showing our faces right now.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about some Crimson Glory history here. So you guys rehearsed for 4 years before recording the self-titled debut album, produced by Dan Johnson on Par Records in 86. 4 years. You guys really wanted to hit it out of the park with that when you're coming out.
Yeah. Well, we were young guys, and first when we formed our band, we were doing cover songs like all our other friends were doing in their bands. And we one day just decided, hey, if we're ever going to do anything real with this, we got to do original songs. So we spent about, like you mentioned, 4 years just rehearsing every night of the week, just about long hours together and writing songs, arranging songs. And, we'd write some, end up dropping some, and we'd write some more. But, eventually after the 4 years, we had something that we wanted to take to the studio and make, and that was that debut album.
Yeah, and that did fairly well for you guys. And then you released the follow-up, Transcendence, was released under Roadrunner Records in Europe and MCA Records in the U.S., and it contained the song Lonely, which was your first hit single and music video. Tell us a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah, when Transcendence came out, it was a little bit of an upward step for us, our second album, and even more well-received. It was Lonely was the song we chose for the first single because it had a bit more of a radio sound to it, a very melodic, almost slightly more commercial version of Crimson Glory. So we did a music video for that song. It was our first ever full-blown video we did. And, at the time, it was aired on Headbangers Ball and MTV pretty regularly and on VH1. So it was kind of cool as a young band to see our video, on our living room television screen so often like that.
Yeah, definitely. That was the big time for MTV, and Headbangers Ball brought out so many cool new artists for that, And I was also reading, so the band toured North America, Europe, Japan, And you guys played with some heavy hitters here: Metallica, Ozzy, Queensrÿche, Udo, Doro, Anthrax. You know, some amazing shows here.
Yeah.
Did the Metal Hammer Festival in Germany. Do you have any memory of any of those shows or any of those tours? There's got to be something that sticks in your head a little bit about that, right?
Just pretty much everything you just mentioned. I have really good memories of all that. You know, all the times we got to go to Europe and play for the fans over there when we put out the first two albums, and after the first album, we toured with Anthrax for a few weeks in Germany and the Netherlands, and played the Aardschok Festival with Metallica. After we put out the second album, we did the Metal Hammer Festival with Ozzy and Queensrÿche and many more. And those are really cool times. Definitely have a lot of good memories from that.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like that was amazing. And I also read you guys were set to you were doing a simulcast with America on Z Radio, and they had plans of turning that show into a DVD. I guess that didn't pan out though, right?
No, I guess not.
So after that tour, what I've read here, the tour ended, and you and Dana, you left the group and you formed the band Paris.
Yeah,
I believe, and released an album, Envision, in '95. Correct?
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
And then go ahead.
It was just a time when Dana and I weren't in Crimson Glory anymore. They wanted to do something different on the third album, and so we put our energies into that Parish album for the first early years of the '90s. Came out with that album in '95, and it was kind of a one-off band album project for us because the singer dropped out of the band shortly after. He wanted to go back to school and back to his studies, and but the record was pretty strong. We recorded it at Morris Sound Recording, where we did the first two Crimson Glory albums, and it's got a lot of good reviews. People still hold it up pretty high. They always tell me they really enjoy it.
Yeah, and so in '99, you reformed Crimson Glory with new vocalist Wade Black for the fourth album, Astronomica, I guess it was called then.
Yeah. The guys Jeff and John were actually wanting to bring the band back, and they talked to Midnight at first, and I guess they could sort of realize that maybe he wasn't up to it at that time, so they found Wade Black, brought him in, and shortly after they called me and said, "Hey, we're working on a new record. We'd like to have you back to the band. We want to get it back into a two-guitar attack sort of band again." And I said, "Yeah, I'd be interested in coming back."
Yeah, and then I was also reading in 2006, you reunited the original lineup of Crimson Glory, but it looks like Midnight had some issues here with the police was arrested and charged, and that prompted you to bring Wade Black back to rejoin the band at that point, right?
Right. Yeah, we had a brief little reunion with Midnight around that 2006. I think we went and played that year. We played the Rockway Festival in Greece, and I won't go all into that. But Midnight really didn't have the best performance that day, and just we could see he was still struggling with some personal things, and then we ended up moving back towards working with Wade for a couple more years after that, between 2006 and 2008.
Yeah, and it looks like then in 2010, Crimson Glory reemerged again with a new vocalist, someone that folks may be a little bit more aware of, Todd Latour. And you guys put together plans for a fifth album with him.
Yeah, around 2010 is when we brought Todd into the band after we had him as one of the guest singers at a Midnight tribute show we did at Atlanta's Prog Power. And Todd just seemed to be a really good fit for the band. When we met him, we knew there was something there. We brought him in. It's kind of interesting because he never really sang with anyone before. He was a drummer before.
Really? Okay.
When we met him, he was focused on being a drummer, but he actually can sing really well too. So when he joined Crimson Glory, we were the first band he ever sang with, and we had
go ahead.
Yeah, we had a few really fun years with Todd. We toured Europe a bunch, and the fans over there really liked him. Embraced the band with him, and we were going to do a new album, but he ended up joining Queensrÿche, and it just didn't come to be.
Right. So then, kind of getting us more up to date here, on December 22nd, 2023, the band announced they had returned with new vocalist Travis Willis, new guitarist Mark Borgmeyer. Am I saying that correct?
Yes, it's Mark Borgmeyer. Travis's last name is Wills.
Okay, Travis Wills, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then you guys, let's see what else has happened. Then you announced you had several shows coming up. It looks like in Europe in October of 2024. And you also participated in the Hall of Heroes Music Festival at the White Oak Music Hall in Houston.
Yeah, that was a great time for sure. We had a really nice turnout there and a good performance that night.
All right, so that kind of brings us up to date then with the new album. This is the first album in 27 years, Chasing the Hydra. It's out on April 17th, 2026. Just amazing, man. Some of the history of this band and stuff that's happening here, and you put it back together. The new tracks are sounding really cool. I've got a chance to listen to some of that. Really cool stuff, definitely.
Thank you. Right on.
Yep. So do we have, what's up next for the band? Do you have more releases coming up? I know you got a video out for Chasing the Hydra. Do you got other stuff going on, or?
Yeah, well, a few weeks ago when we announced the release date of the record, we put out a lyric video for Chasing the Hydra. And then about a week ago, we put out another single, Angel in My Nightmare, but it was just like an audio release. There's no video that goes with it. But in the future, in the next few months, I think we're going to try to get a music video done for one of the songs we've talked about, maybe Beyond the Unknown. It's a really cool song, and we think it'd be a good one to do like a full production band video for that one.
Yeah, very cool.
This is something on our list of to-dos, and we have a big summer of live festival dates planned for this summer, places all over Europe. A lot of the usual places we played before, such as Germany and Greece and Sweden, Belgium, the Netherlands, places where we've made so many friends and played so many times. And then we're also going to be playing Spain and Bulgaria this year. We've never played either of those places before, so we're excited about that. So it's going to be a really exciting summer. We're playing Wacken Festival in Germany, which is probably the biggest festival they have every summer over there for all the metal summer festivals. One I've always wanted to play, so very excited for that one.
Yeah, definitely very, very cool. It's great to have you guys back with some new music and out there. Already got dates on the site. Very, very cool. Yeah. All right, man. So if you folks out there want to check out the dates, you can go to the official crimsonglory.com website. You can check all those out. And the new album, Chasing the Hydra, is out April 17th from BraveWords Records. All right. Well, thank you, Ben Jackson, so much for being with us today. Really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. Good to talk to you.
Definitely. So that wraps up this episode of Talking About Rock. Thank you to my guest today, Ben Jackson from Crimson Glory. And to our listeners, we hope you're doing your part by keeping the torch alive and supporting live music wherever you are. Ben, again, thanks, man.
You're welcome.